if you believe in gun rights, like property rights, like you're allowed to own property without someone else's permission, if you believe in the inherent human right to self-defense, you believe that the Second Amendment has some virtue in at least pretending to protect those rights, you might have been tricked into believing that there's this major group out there. And this would be very reassuring if it were true. But unfortunately, it turns out that this group has just tricked you into thinking that it's protecting your gun rights. I'm talking, of course, about the NRA, the National Rifle Association, which has become a lobbying arm for the Republican Party that uses America's pro-gun sentiment as an excuse to support someone else's political agenda and to pander to gun owners who are suckers. And now we can actually prove it with their latest statement about open carry. Why the NRA says what some gun advocates are doing is downright weird. So, you might know about the various open carry movements in the United States, and I've been obviously a part of them myself as the guy that loaded a shotgun at Freedom Plaza last year and did 4 months in jail as a result. And I've participated in open carry walks, and it was so cool when I was banned in D.C. and had to move across the country that we had open carry escorts when we were going through Texas. And I love seeing this. It's amazing that people have the guts to do this. They say, well, hey, it's on the books. It's the law. I can open carry if I want. And they're going to restaurants, and they're going in different public places. So here's the statement from the NRA. Recently, demonstrators have been showing up in various public places, including coffee shops and fast food restaurants, openly toting a variety of tactical long guns. Now, toting. Normally, if you're a serious gun enthusiast, you would say, with a rifle slung over your back, or carrying, or open carrying, or asserting your right to defend yourself openly and publicly. Toting is for the liberals when they say gun-toting maniacs. But you know what? That's what the NRA actually thinks of gun ownership. Yeah, something to be ashamed of, something to be hidden. Unlicensed open carry of handguns is legal in about half of the U.S. states, and it is relatively common and uncontroversial in some places. And I can tell you it's true from open carrying in New Mexico, although, when you have a buzz cut and you're carrying a, .350 Wesson, Smith & Wesson revolver and a leather holster on your hip, and you carry yourself like you were in the Marines, because you were, well, people just assume you're an off-duty cop, and you kind of get a little bit of a pass on a lot of things in that sense. So I never had a problem with it. In fact, it was always a pretty positive response, except with institutions. Like I was asked to go do an interview on a TV station that happened to be on a college campus in a sort of separate area, and I didn't know. And when I open carried for the first one, and when they invited me back, they said, "But you can't bring your gun this time." And I said, "Are you kidding? You really? Do you know where school shootings usually happen? Schools? Huh? Gun-free zones?" So I was like, no, I get death threats. I'm a public figure. If I'm going to come back on your TV show, this was right after I ran for Congress. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be open carrying. And if that's not okay, well, then I'm just not going to do your interview. So the NRA, the liberal fake gun group, goes on. Yet while unlicensed open carry of long guns is also typically legal in most places, it is a rare sight to see someone sidle up next to you in line for lunch with a 7.62 rifle slung across his chest, much less a whole gaggle of folks descending on the same public venue with similar arms. Oh, well, if it's rare, then we shouldn't do it. If it's rare, we should just make it more rare. If it's rare, it should be scary and suppressed, and we shouldn't even confront those fears by open carrying and showing people that open carry is a totally safe practice. No. It's okay if you own guns, America. Just hide them. Just keep them away. Whatever you do, don't use them to defend yourself in public unless you have permission from the government with a concealed carry permit, because the NRA would never advocate for civil disobedience or standing up for your rights. No, they advocate obedience. Yeah, bending over for government and doing whatever you're told. That's not standing up for freedom. In fact, advocating for people to not participate in civil disobedience is asking them to give up their lives to the authorities. It's a pretty sick position when you really get down to it. Let's not mince words. Not only is it rare, it's downright weird, and certainly not a practical way to go normally about your business while being prepared to defend yourself. Carrying a gun is not a practical way for being prepared to defend yourself? Hello? What? You're the NRA? Really? Okay, so it's weird. Yes, if by weird you simply mean unusual. I thought you were trying to change that. I thought you were trying to change the perception. I thought that was the point of the NRA. You're trying to make gun ownership more positive, more acceptable, more common. No, it's weird. Let's get rid of it. I mean, hello, that's what Obama is saying about owning guns. Oh, you gun owners, you're so weird. We should just get rid of you. Whew. To those who are not acquainted with the dubious practice of using public displays of firearms as a means to draw attention to oneself or one's cause, it can be downright scary. The statists and liberals are going to be scared. We don't want to scare them with the truth or with standing up for our rights or with big scary guns from gun-toting maniacs. Oh my God. And this is coming from the NRA. So, it makes folks who might normally be perfectly open-minded about firearms feel uncomfortable and question the motives of pro-gun advocates. And it's true. And you know what? For all you open carriers, you really should check yourself, because when your guns that you have safely slung across your back get up and just start shooting people on their own in a restaurant, that's going to scare people. And you really shouldn't do that. Oh, no. So having a gun and carrying it responsibly and using it safely is showing people that it's not scary. You know, doesn't the NRA have like training classes about this? Like, hey, carrying a gun responsibly is safe. Isn't that like part of the point of being the NRA is to make, I don't even know where to go with this. As a result of these hijinks, 2 popular fast food outlets have recently requested patrons to keep guns off the premises. In other words, the freedom and goodwill these businesses had previously extended to gun owners has been curtailed because of the actions of attention-hungry few who thought only of themselves and not of those who might be affected by their behavior. Oh yeah, these gun rights activists, they only care about themselves. They're not gun rights activists because they believe in public safety, because they believe that society is better off when people's rights are respected. No, they're only thinking about themselves, those silly attention whores. Yeah, that's all it has to be. And now, if anything, what's really sad is that the NRA's attitude, now it's not just bend over for government. It's not just like bend over for the liberals and the gun grabbers and like go hide your guns and just be weird by yourselves. It's, a business. Let's just bend over. A random business doesn't like guns. Let's stop. Let's not offend them. This is what you're supposed to boycott them. You don't want me to be safe in your restaurant? You want your restaurant to be as vulnerable as a government school? Well then I will take my business elsewhere. Thank you, sir. No, not the NRA. The NRA says, geez, keep going and getting fat, at Sonic and Chili's. Like 2 terrible places to eat where you're going to get fed GMOs and all sorts of other crap. And if you look at the weight problems of the average customers there, that might be incentive enough to not shop there. But the fact that now they're saying don't bring guns on, you're not allowed to defend yourself on our property, I think that would be just a little bit of an extra incentive if you cared about gun rights. Not if you were the NRA, but if you cared about gun rights, to not support those businesses. Finally, the NRA says, to state the obvious, that's counterproductive for the gun-owning community. And now you know what the NRA is really all about. It's telling you that actually standing up for your rights is counterproductive, because what they're telling you is what's really productive for gun rights is voting Republican without question and giving us lots of money so we can give it to Republican candidates. Yay!
Yes, we will. Okay, but how? Yes, we will.
How?
Yes, we will.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name's Adam.
Adam what? Lanza?
Okay.
Anything that has a bunch of crap in the magazine that shoots